you doing? I'm in a new spot. Thought I'd check out something because remember last week we heard the frogs? Do you remember? I thought I'd show you and take you to a stream that is full of frogs, and I can hear some already. It's a bit windy today, so I don't know if we're going to see too much, but fingers crossed we will see some really cool things, okay? Yeah? So, we're not too far from where we usually go, but this place is really special because it's the start of a stream. And there's lots of exciting things gone on here lately. There's been lots of trees fallen over in some big storms over the last year. I'd say about a year. And I was going to show you some really big ones and hopefully find some things inside those trees and just show you how amazing nature is about the way that the trees actually just go into the ground and turn it when nature does its own composting. And yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. Now you hear that noise? That jeep, 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 jeep. That's from an eastern minor bird, an Australian minor bird, and they're one of the little birds that warn all the other animals in the forest that there might be a predator about. That's me. But I'm not going to eat a bird. Well, not that kind of bird anyway, they're only about that. So, going through here, you can see look, all on the floor here, there's lots of branches that have fallen down from the trees up here that have been bashed by a great big fallen old tree over here. But it's all good because it's actually making way. As you can see, look at this dappled light here. This dappled light from the sun as it's going down, because we're at a different time of day today. We're actually filming in the afternoon for a change, just to show you some different lights and different things that go on in the woods. So we go through here and you've got the hakea tree, and that's a sapling. I'm getting caught up by these vines here. Cool. Let's have a look through here. So there's a great big tree that's fallen over here and it's smashed everything down. It's all starting to rot and degrade now. But that doesn't mean life's stopping. It means actually life is going on and it's the complete natural cycle of how things should be. Should we keep going? Oh, before I go on, hello Abby Perry. How are you? How are all my wild kids in Cornwall? How are you? Okay? Hey Alison. Hey Bunny. Now look here, this is a different kind of fern. Look at this guy. Isn't that interesting? So you got your normal brackish bracken ferns, but there's loads and loads of different sorts of species. This one's a lot thinner, but it's exactly the same family, but just a cousin of your normal ferns, which are just down here. So you've got your normal ferns here that you get all over the world, and they're so successful. These plants have been going, like I said to you before, from dinosaur times, literally from dinosaur times. And if you look up, you've got the big tree ferns as well. So you've got lots and lots of different species of ferns here. It's really, really exciting place. That's why I wanted to show you, because it is so exciting. It's amazing. So here we have a streamlet. Come in through here. Come on, come on, come on. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're all friends here. Now, this lily, beautiful as it is, this shouldn't be here. This has come from someone's garden. This has been some seeds from someone's garden, and because life finds a way, it's found a little spot in here. But I mean, who can deny that? Isn't that the most beautiful flower? Isn't that glorious? Look at that. And there's lots of little flies and midges flying around it, smelling it, giving off a fragrance, and they'll be attracted to that inside, getting a little bit of nectar, and that in turn will pollinate. That's a new word for today. Pollination. Now that will pollinate, and then you'll get more. But that's great big. There's lots and lots and lots of plants there. It's Absolutely beautiful. Now here, you've got some papyrus. And these are really beautiful as well. It's like a grass. And these big stems here come out, and you'll have all the seeds on there very soon. And well, very soon in the springtime when they come out. We're still in winter here in Australia, aren't we? Oh, hello St Mel Wildkids down there in Victoria. How are you? How you doing? You all right? Love to know that you're watching these as well. Great to see ya. Now, we are going to go downstream a little bit, and then we're going to come back up on the other side because there's a fallen tree over here that I want to show you. So come with me. I'm glad I've got my stick today so I don't fall over. Look at this, all this new growth here because spring's coming. Look at this. Now, because the trees have fallen down here, and you've had a bank here that's fallen over, these trees here are going, oh my goodness me, there's sunshine, and they're racing as fast as they can to get high up in the sky so they can get that sunlight too. That's what it's all about. So let's keep going over here. Oh look, remember this from last time, wattle? This one's going over a bit now. It means it's been pollinated, so these flowers are looking a little bit bashed up, but they're not. They've just done their job, and now it's time for the plant to start growing its fruit. The same as these grasses down here. Now this is a very special grass that the indigenous people of Australia use, and they use this and they grind down the seeds and use it for flour. The Aboriginal people from around here, the Guy, they would use this, grind it down, and when these are dry they're brilliant for starting fires. They're really good for a campfire, and I use them in the summer for when I'm making campfires in places I'm allowed to. Come on. Let's go down here. Oh look, there's one in flower here, look. Look at this, isn't this a beautiful flower? Look at that. How special is that? That's glorious, isn't it? And that will all be seeds soon, and then we can grind those seeds down and make flour for breads and things like that to eat. And it's very spiky. This is very spiky indeed actually, and that's really smart way. This plant is very smart, and it's using all these spikes to keep animals away from eating it, to try and protect its babies. That's a very clever thing to do. Keep telling you, plants are clever, aren't they? Yes they are. Hello Bella Vista crew. Hello Nararas. All you kindy hubs in Narara, how are you? Woo! Gotta be excited then. Hey to carry on, great beginnings crew. Now, down here, there is a really deep pool. And inside the pool, over here, are fish all swimming around, or tadpoles. I'm not sure what. I think there might be tadpoles actually, because around here you can hear that noise, which is baby frogs. Now, we'll try and find some up there. So what we're going to do, we're going to cross over the river here. So all these stones have been eroded away by all the water and logs and these great big trees that have fallen over and broken up. Look at the beautiful pattern here. Isn't that glorious? Look at that bark. Isn't that amazing? Oh, it's fantastic. And this is all starting to rot away and all being eaten out by animals as well. Now it's pretty deep, so I'm going to be very careful. Let's see how deep it is now. When I take my journey stick and I'm walking around, if this water was muddy and I needed to cross to get to the other side, this is what I'd use my journey stick for, as well as keep it balanced. You can also see how deep the water is. Now, It is. Ooh, knee deep. So I know I'm not going to go in there because I don't want to get wet. Not on a cold evening. Now, down here, even just to the side of me before we move on, look at that curl there. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now that, if I push it out into the light, you'll see it better. Look at that. See all those little curls there? These curls will turn into these great big leaves, and these are baby tree ferns. And that's going to grow up and be big and giant enormous. Now, careful, Alex. You all right, buddy?
Yep.
Excellent. Now, let's move over here. We're going to walk up this log here. Whoa, steady.
That'll be fine.
You okay?
I might have to take the rock.
Okay, you go the rock way. Well, you can stay down there because I'm stuck. Shut the front door and close the windows. Look at this. Look at this in here. Look at this. Wow, can you see it? Can you see that? Now let's try and go sideways, mate, because otherwise you'll get a really wobbly picture. Let's go like that, and I'll just show you there. Look at that. That's honeycomb. That's honeycomb from Australian native bees. Now, native bees are really, really small, and they're black here, and they're stingless. That's why we like the Australian bees. Now, that's their honeycomb, so they've lived in this tree. So this is just the wax. And this is the basic, this is where bees would be naturally in the wild, in the environment. Now, that's super cool. I'm just going to get a spider off of Alex.
Oh,
there we go. There's this little guy.
Mr. Spider.
Mr. Spider, Stevie the Spider.
Oh,
let's put him over here. There we go. We don't need to hurt him because this is where he lives. I think he's a garden orb spider by the looks of him. He's a baby one because they can get quite big and fat.
Little babber.
Because they like flies. And there's lots of flies around here. Now, so back to the bees. So this hollowed out tree would have been dead a long, long time before it fell over. And a queen bee would have burrowed inside through all these layers of wood and set up a home, and that would have been this would have been a fantastic place to have a hive because it would have been protected from all the elements, from the wind and the rain and the heat and the cold. And this was where all the little babies would have been, in these little honeycombs here. Fantastic. Look at that. That's amazing. That's so cool. There's loads of it going on, but it's a bit dark, so you won't be able to see much further in. So that's how nature... Oh, look, here we go. Here we are. Look at that. Look at that. That is so cool. That is really cool. I am super impressed. So you'd have had your baby bees in there, and then they'd have had a store of honey in there as well. And that would have been for all of the hive to eat. Okay, now let's see if I can help Alex. I got it. Sorry for the wobble. So yeah, we're off again. So up here, look at this tree here. This one's cool. He's on a bit of a lean. So we've got the wattle here. We've got more wattle, and this is a very spiky wattle. So as well as not being a round little flower, these leaves are incredibly spiky. Sometimes you get spindly ones, sometimes you get the fat-leaved ones, and this particular variety is a spiky leaf wattle. And up there, up in the tree, you've got a termite mound, and they'd have been going in here. So this tree, I mean, he's not very well, but he's not on his last legs just yet. It's even had a bit of fire. We had a bit of a fire here last summer, and this is one of the trees that got caught in that, which is pretty amazing because it's still there. The trees are so resilient, they're so tough. Okay, so let's go up this way a little bit more. And also attached to, now this here, you think it's just a tiny little stream bimbling away, babbling brook. When it rains here in Australia, it rains. I mean, rains, and with a capital R. And sometimes you can get that much rain in a couple of hours. And when it rains that hard, it thunders through here, knocking over trees, and it washes away all the soil. And that's why this is bare rock. Up here, it's mud. There's a bit of mud here, but this is the edge of how ferocious this actual stream can be, and turns into a very, very broiling river. And in some places you've got these plants here, these celandines, and some of this, I can't remember the name of this. I'm going to call it Wandering Jew. I can't remember what the actual name of it is though. And that, with its root system, let me show you. Its root system's very thick. See? See that? All those roots? I'm not hurting the plant. And any material that's coming downstream, all the bits of mud and earth and the tiny, tiny little particles get caught by the roots. And they get built up and built up and built up and built up, and make a mat of this really, really wet soil. But that soil is brilliant for nutrients, and look at how many plants are here. It actually proves how fantastically nutrient the soil is. Okay, now if we go up a little bit more, we can have a look at this other deep pool here. Now we've had a bit of rain over the last few weeks, and have a look at this. That shouldn't be that way. It's actually, the water's been that strong, it's lifted this grass over because these are the roots. It should be the other way over, shouldn't it? And that's the dead, the plant underneath, and that's all died unfortunately. But that would have been here, in this area here, and that's how strong the current is when it pushes through. It's really, you have to be very careful and very mindful when there is a lot of rain here, because you could get swept away, and there's a little waterfall over there, so you have to be very, very careful of it. But you can see it come down here, and you've got all that earth and mud and all the bits of bracken and brackish material, lots of ferns, lots of twigs, because as you can see it's quite windy today, so some of those twigs would have broken off the tops of the trees, fallen down. Now we're not going to be lucky enough to see any today because it's now getting a little bit too dark and murky, but underneath here, this area here, underneath here, is perfect for little crays, yabbies, and eels. You find eels in this stream. Oh yeah, big ones. I've seen one that long. Yeah, over 60 centimetres long. Proper. Anyway, should we go and have a look further downstream? Let's go. So we've got all the usual suspects here. We've got mosses here. Lots of moss, because moss loves the wet like this, and it's very tough as well. So not a lot of this moss would have been washed away. Oh, well before we go downstream, let's have a look over here and see what we can see over here. I'm going to actually help this little guy here. Look, see what's happened? This one isn't going to last too long. This branch has fallen off the tree, and it's bashed into this little sapling here. And it's fallen over, look. So it will still grow, it's still alive, which is great, but it's growing along, and we need it, hopefully it'll grow up. But then if it grows up, you can have a great big long piece of strong wood here, which is actually, in the grand scheme of things, going to protect this riverbank even more from erosion, because it will stop any further mud falling through here when it washes down through. Come on over here, look. So this is an Angophora. And look at this size of this mosquito. Look at that guy. Look how big he is. Oh, he's gone. Huge. Well, he's as big as my thumb. I want that one having me, but this is called the blood gum. And it looks, it's beautiful colour. It's a beautiful orange colour. But the reason they call it a blood gum is because of this. And this is its sap. And that's just the sap of the tree, like the juice inside the tree, and it's really deep red, and they say like it's the blood of the tree. Here it is, look, see all down here, it's all crystallizing. Look at that, that's the sap of the tree. And in millions and millions and millions and millions of years, that turns into amber, which is a precious stone. Or is it a stone? Amber? Don't know, but it's orange and it's nice, and that's what that turns into. So over here we've got a bit of space now because this great big tree here's fallen over and it's made a big gap in the canopy. So that means other plants around here are now going crazy trying to get up into that light. So you've got these Hakia trees here, you've got this banksia who's been pushed over, probably from damage from the tree being pushed over, and that is growing up now, trying to fill this gap here. All trying to spread their leaves into these spaces, and over here in the lower canopy on all these shrubs here they're all pushing really hard. That's why they're so thin. Look how thin that is. You wouldn't think it was strong enough. That's why they can wobble in the wind, but they're all aiming to try and get as much sunlight as they can possibly get. Now down here, let's have a look, see what we can find, if anything, because like I say, a lot of animals will be taking shelter because it's quite stormy. Let's pull it away from us, just in case there's anything in there that we don't want to see. And that might be a bit scary. But no, see, it's all really damp. That's where the leaves have been protecting it. And it's all broken down. That's all wood, that is. That's all rotting down and breaking down. And see the fungus there? And the mould? That's all breaking all this wood down. And it turns into the soil and puts all the nutrients into the forest. It's amazing, isn't it? And these big trees here, these guys, when they've got holes in them, this is where you get birds living in them. You get birds nesting in them. Cockatoos, the sulphur-crested cockatoo, which are the big white cockatoos with the yellow, they love a hollow of a tree to actually have a nest in. They don't make a little nest on a branch because it's too swingy for them. They like to rest in and nest in the hollow of a tree. Amazing. Let's go. Well, there's so many interesting things to see. Look at these beautiful flowers here. Aren't they glorious? They're beautiful. Look at those, aren't they lovely? Quite amazing. And that's the flower of the Hakia, which is this weird seed here. Looks like some weird spiky insect, doesn't it? Big fangs going. Ugh! Now, it feels quite stormy now. I'm wondering if we're going to get a storm tonight. That's okay. Be careful and we wrap up. We'll be fine. Okay. Now before we go, I'm going to show you the little waterfall because it's lovely. Excuse me, Mr. Spiky Waffle. Move you to the side so poor Alex doesn't get too... Yeah, I told you, it's spiky. It's very spiky. It's so spiky.
I do hate these trees.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty.
Now over here, see the water's just starting to go over now. It's come very early this year. And this is tea tree. It's very good for your skin, and lots of people use this for lots of different medicines and remedies. It's very, very good stuff, tea tree. Now look here, another tree's fallen over. In fact, there's a couple of trees that have fallen over here. Wow. So the ground isn't very good. As you can see, it's not very thick. The tree roots aren't very deep. And we've got 1, 2, 3 trees that have fallen over here, and that was because sometimes when another tree falls it might knock into one tree and be like a domino effect, going bang and knock one down, or because the one tree's been knocked down here, there's a lot of space and the wind can travel through it and put more pressure on some of these big old trees, and then they fall over. But it's like I said before, it's all part of nature. It's all supposed to happen. Okay, This is glorious. I'm loving this. This is amazing. So we've got holes here. So these natural little crevices here, you would have animals living in these. I haven't seen any sign. There's not much, there's no footprints around. But you can see that something's been digging this out or having a little explore. It might have been an echidna, something like that, because echidnas live here. They're quite common. For a shy animal, they're quite common. They're not like, for my wild kids in England, like hedgehogs. You wouldn't see so many of like echidnas like you do hedgehogs. And in North America, I wouldn't know what they were. Wouldn't know what my North American wild kids would say would be a thing like a hedgehog, like a spiky, like a porcupine. Porcupines, yes, of course. So, going down here, being very careful of where we're walking. There we go. How are we doing, Alex? You alright?
Pretty good, yeah.
Beautiful. Now here, when it's really, 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 really raining, and the stream is pushing through, it pushes all of the debris off of this. This turns into a waterfall, and it smashes through here. So that's why there's hardly any leaves on these rocks. That's how big the storm was recently with the amount of rain we had. That's why this isn't covered with leaves and branches. All of it has ended up down there. And you can see there's another tree that's fallen down. And there's a lot of kind of big broken branches that are all down there after this little cascade. This cascade of a waterfall. It's not a big one. But here, you can see, I'll just get down. You can see the little waterfall here, which is lovely and very pretty. But look at this. Yeah, I thought it was a snake or something, but it's not. So here, it's alright, you stay there, mate. It's alright, I'll just show you. Look at the way that's smooth like that. Now the water has done that and made that beautiful shape all the way down through. So when the water comes flying down here, millions of litres, it comes here and over time, because this is sandstone and it moulds very easily, over time it will make and sculpt these beautiful shapes. And that's why we have all these beautiful shapes. And that's why there's a hole underneath this big stone that's pushing underneath, eroded that away, and then it's going all the way down here, and you follow the stream all the way down. Right then, time for me to get back up. Marvellous. So, with that, I'm going to go back up to up the road now. I'm going to go back to my car because I think the weather's going to come in and it's going to be a bit rubbish very, very soon. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the little stream visit, and maybe we can come back here later on when the seasons change in the spring, because there's lots of dragonflies and mayflies here. Now, don't forget, to all the educators and mums and dads that are watching, you can follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, and any details and any news and anything like that will be on my Facebook page. So please keep joining that. You're already joined. That doesn't make any sense at all, does it? Keep watching, keep posted. Send me your emails of any questions that you might have, you guys. And if you have any pictures, thank you for sending me in the pictures, guys. They were really, really cool. And also, I'm going to be doing like live questions and answer sessions and how-to videos. So they'll be still going on my Thursday slot at 10:30 every Thursday, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Okay? So, until next time, hang in there. We're getting through all this and we're still seeing some amazing stuff. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. Please let me know if there's anything you'd like to see that I could maybe show you that you haven't seen before, and I might be able to help with that too. So, until next time, stay safe, be good, look after each other, and I'll see you soon. Take care.